Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of Honda Street Garage, and today we are putting some Skunk 2 lost motion assemblies into this B16. So here we have a Civic EG clearly with a B16A in it, and buddy of mine was like, can you put these in? I was like, sure. Make a video out of it. I'll show you how to do it. Should be relatively simple. Of course, that's what we always say at the beginning of these until we run into a nightmare. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is take the valve cover off, and then we're going to time the motor up so that when we go to put everything back together, it'll be easy to put it back together. The motor will be already timed. Okay, I have the valve cover off. I'm going to remove the spark plugs, and that's because it'll make it easier to rotate the engine over to get it into time. Now, one of the tricks I like to do is take an extension here like this for a ratchet and stick it down in the #1 spark plug hole, and that'll tell me where the piston is so that I know for sure that I'm in top dead center. Okay, so that's the height. Over here, kind of dark, but the up arrows are right here, facing this way. So we need to rotate the engine over or backwards. A little trick for these is make a tire iron matches the crank pulley, so it should rotate nice and easy because these spark plugs have been pulled out of it. All right. Now I'm going to rotate it right there. And it is now in time, so that when I go to take the timing belt off, all I have to do is put everything back in time where it goes, and it shouldn't have any problem because the block will already be timed up. Using this as your guide, we know that the #1 piston is up, because if it was down, would be clearly much lower. Okay, so a little trick here, you can tell I've got zip ties holding the belt to the cam gears, and that's just really as a precaution. If I have to retime it, I have to retime it, but it's really just going to try to make things easier when I go to put it back together, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these bolts out, take the cam gears off, and it'll just make it a little bit easier to put it back together. I'm also going to go take the distributor off, and then I can take the cams out. Well, one of these bolts here did not want to come out for the cam gear, so we're just going to leave it in. Okay, I have removed the cams. Okay, now I've removed the cams. Now I have to remove this little bolt here. And there's one here on either side, because I have to pull the rails out. Now I've got to do it on the other side right here. And of course, to do the exhaust side, we have to remove the Vtec solenoid. So we'll be doing that here shortly. I have a little screw here that is the size of an 8mm bolt. It goes into these two little guys right here. You're gonna kind of, there we go, pull it out. See that? Okay, I'm gonna take a little screwdriver. I'm gonna push this out. Here it comes. Pull this out. Hang it right there on the edge. We've got one here, two here, three, four. So Lift these three up and pull these out. Okay, so I've lifted these guys out. I've zip tied them so they don't get out of order or anything like that. So here's our first. I'll lift that out. And that is usually the cause of a lot of strange sounds. A lot of clacking in the head when you can actually hear this one sticking a little bit. That'll end up making a lot of noise. I'm gonna put that over to the side here. So that's why Skunk 2 came up with a solution here. It's obviously an old dirty bag. Okay, so we're gonna finally open this thing. I'm gonna pull number 1 out. Put a little head on it. This guy just sits down in there like that. And then what I'm going to do is put this back in its position here. I know that's quite ugly. And get that back into its proper position, and then do the next one and the next one and the next one and the next one. All right. Number 2. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Wiggle the shaft back in. Got the first one through. I'm gonna fish to this side and keep working it in, getting him to pop through the holes. Now I've kind of wiggled it through here, and there's a little hole here, so I've used this little screwdriver to kind of line things up. Now I'm gonna take this guy, drop it in. He's in there. Now we can unscrew the screw. We're good. Now I've got to put the nut back in here. Do the same thing on the other side. There we go. All right, we've got to do the other side. I'm gonna get started on that. Okay, so now I've got the exhaust side pin out. I'm actually gonna be a little smarter this time and start here and go this way. That way, after I do each one, I can slide the little pin back through. I'm gonna get busy on that. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, same process as before. I'm gonna knock it out real quick for you. Number 5 is in there. I'm gonna put these guys back in here and then put the pin through. Number 6. There you go. All right, number 7. And finally, number 8. You can see this head actually has ARP head bolts in it. Finally, number 8. Okay, I've got the pin all the way in. I'm putting the last little piece in here. All right, there it goes. Sinks down. Take the screw out. Do not drop it. I'm going to put the nut back in here. Good thing is you don't have to put one on the other side because that's where the Vtec solenoid goes. This is basically the oil lines for Vtec. Okay, so we have our lost motion assemblies back in. My battery is dying. Basically, it's reassembled as normal. I'm going to put the cams back in. I'm going to put all the cam caps back on. The 12mm bolts get torqued to 20 foot-pounds. The little 10mm get torqued to 8 foot-pounds. The Vtec solenoid is going to get put back on. Motor's going to get timed back up. And it should be good to go. And I'll be back with you in a second when I put all this back together. Be right back. Okay, here we are. We've got it finished up here. We've got everything put back together. I double checked the timing of the motor, dead on. I did have to loosen the tensioner and retime it. It was easy though, the block was right there, so not a big deal. I've got the motor timed, got everything put back together. Shouldn't have any issues. Relatively clean swap. The person that owns this car acquired it recently, so he's trying to fix all the little issues with it. Wow, it's a lot quieter. Wow, that is a lot quieter. Sounds super smooth. Before it really sounded like it had marbles jumping around inside the engine. So, said he recently had a valve job done and was making all kinds of noise. So, anyway, I'm glad this one's gonna work out. So far, the product sounds really good. So, anyway, dying of sweat. That's why it's nighttime outside. Basically, what we're gonna do is pressure wash this motor and get it clean, get all the oil off of it. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, so my fat ass, Jesus, it's been really hot in the daytime, so it's been hard to kind of do anything at the shop because it's been unbearably hot in the upper 90s. You know, we'll be cranking out some videos. I got some good ones planned this month. Thanks again, everybody, for all the support. Go buy a shirt, links in the description, and all the other things that you can get HSG codes for. Remember to like us on Facebook and Instagram, Snapchat and Twitter. Instagram is probably what I mostly use. But see you guys in the next video. Peace.